Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee. Here's me, nice and sprightly on time. I've got theoretically lots to talk about, but I'm in an incredible amount of pain. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I'll just get carried away by how exciting stuff is and forget about the horrific pain. But that's why I am spinning. So it is actually relevant. The first bit of pain was Friday. I decided I was going to do loads of photographs. And I took a load of photographs and they were rubbish. I put them onto the computer and I was like, they're just not it. They're just not great. And then it was that like, do I do it again? Or so I had a coffee and then I went, right, let's clear the place because the office is very messy at the moment. So let's just clear it all, tidy it up, and take some proper pictures. That's not you just move because it's just terrain sort of stacked everywhere. Because I can't really put anything away at the moment because I'm doing like rural shots, town shots, destroyed shots, complete shots. So I do need all of the stuff out, but it was getting ridiculous. And I knocked over some gravel, and there was gravel everywhere. Um, so then I got like a second sort of like yes. So I was working late Friday night photographing miniatures, and I took some lovely photographs, and I've put them all the brain, the I've rephotographed all the models for the Kickstarter, because I had just pictures of greens, and I took really nice pictures of them all on the John Hodgson backdrops. And so they've come out really nice. So I was working late Friday doing that, but because I was in such a sort of hyper focus, I hadn't noticed that. Especially at one point, I'm trying to make a video that's got the one miniature, but it just flips through all the different backdrops. But to do it, instead of just I don't know, figuring out something better. I was doing sort of like change the thing, squat down, take photos. So I was doing loads of squats. So then Saturday morning, my thighs are killing just from like squatting to take photos. And then, but it was manageable. And then Saturday, all I can think of is I sat weird because of the sore thighs. I think I then sat weird watching. I watched The Dark Crystal, and I've never seen it before. How you can blame Lil there in the comments? It's her fault. So I sat and watched that, and it's a bit like when I watch stuff in Andy's room. I sit on the floor, but I think I'd make a little nest with like a beanbag, and I think I'd just sat weird or something. So last night and this morning, I'm now in excruciating pain at my lower back. Couldn't sleep because it was there. And because my thighs hurt from squats on Friday, basically just sitting up, changing position is unbearable. Basically, I'm not too bad because I'm sat down, but I am spinning to try and. So hopefully it'll go in a couple days because I could do without that. But otherwise, I'm very well. I haven't spoke to you all in ages because we missed last week. So it's not just me moaning. And if you've not come here before, it's also me moaning. I've got lots to talk about, lots of cool stuff. But yes, the Skeksis have drained my essence. I was draining guinea pig's essence last night, but through the heads. So I was going. I have realised I didn't give the pigs their little vegetables. They're all sad now. I have to get them after because yeah, I'm sick of each thing. So where are we? Where are we? The like it's so but I don't know what to do. um, definitely the muscles. Definitely the muscles. Um, I admit how unaware loads of Dark Crystal I was. I'd never. What were the little fellas? They were ace. The little creatures. All I've ever been aware of is Gelflings and the Skeksis. And so it was actually good. And Andy's been trying to get me to watch it for ages, and that's what happens. I hurt my back. Podlings, little baby podlings. Yeah, they were so cute. The little essence. Get the little essence drained. So Kickstarter is on, and it is ace. Let's have a little look. Let's get her up in a little tab there. We got. I'm really chuffed with it. I was looking through. I was comparing all of the other Kickstarters yesterday night and went, oh, this is a good upturn. Because I've been doing smaller Kickstarters. Naturally, they've kind of gone, like the pulp was only what, about six figures, but less, but more niche. So like the ghouls as well. But even like definitely not Damsels 2. The first one was incredible. The second one, again, these are all just by comparison. Um, it was good, but it didn't take what it like statistically should have taken. Um, so it's been nice to have a look at those stats and then see that this one, like not just in terms of total amount, but the amount of people. So I seem to be getting the people back, but then World War Two is quite broad. So I don't know. It's a total mystery Kickstart, but I'm very pleased with this. Very happy with how it's going, which is nice. It's nice. Um, so it's either been a small one the last sort of couple of years, even it's either been a small Kickstarter or one where I've kind of gone, it's okay, could do more. Um, so I'm pleased, especially because say I've just been cursed. I think I'm cursed. I don't know what I've done, but I'm cursed. So I didn't have everything ready when I launched. I almost didn't launch. I almost postponed it and got talked, got convinced into doing it. Um, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, my brain's not all there today because all it's thinking about is, oh, my back hurts. Um, but it's also thinking you're supposed to wash your hair before the show and you didn't again. Um, and I am rambling entirely. But it's ace. Yeah, it's ace. I'm really happy with it. Thank you if you've backed it. I know not everyone can back or they're not into World War Two or any of that, but if you've shared or just done a little comment on something, that's really good. Always my frustration with Kickstarter with everything that I do is just making sure people see it. And I put in the update yesterday, you either, because of algorithms, you either see it or you don't. So then because I'm spamming it to try and get more people to see it, it just spams the same people. So I can imagine some people going, okay, I've seen this a million times, Annie. Okay, I'm back. Go away, Annie. So apologies if it is filling your feed, but it's ace though, isn't it? And I'm trying to switch up all the images. So it's not just you seeing the same image all the time. So I did a lot of computer work yesterday. That probably didn't help either. This is a bit prolonged sitting. I did a lot of computer work yesterday, and so I pretty much redesigned the front page of the Kickstarter. So if you haven't looked since launch, go and have a little look because it looks lovely. And I don't very often do this, but I changed the thumbnail image on the Kickstarter to see if it's because it's a different image. People that might have been skimming past it, it might catch their eye a little bit more. So maybe. And now I've got nearly all of them. I've got, which is really nice. The rest will be arriving Tuesday, which always makes a huge difference when people can see what they paint up like. Thank you very much, Jill, Peter, and Pandemonium in the chat there. All have also painted up some minis, and they're ace. So thank you. Jill didn't post online, but I sent it in a little. I've kept the little notes, so thank you. So she'll be in some of the photos, especially handy because she's not on a base, so I can put her in some like tighter spots. That'd be really cool. Thank you for that. That is east. Oh god. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try just a sort of slow walk, maybe just around the garden, like I'm Captain Tom with a massive Captain Tom. So around my huge lawn, but just to sort of amble about because I know that like just sitting probably won't help. I haven't even had a sip of the coffee today, so it's mug time. Big mug with pigs and a wee. That's all I do now. I just weep, weep, weep. Um, good question from Jill. A bit of a rabbit hole. Can you tell if people read Kickstarter updates through email the way you can with your own newsletter? No. So Kickstarter's pretty good on giving you stats, but it doesn't tell you anything about who's read the updates. So even on the app, it doesn't tell you. All you get is comments and likes. So I have no idea at all how many people have read them. So, oh, that reminds me, I was supposed to resend. I'm going to do it now. You get to see it live. I'm going to resend Friday's email and lose some more subscribers. So I can send, if you don't open the free unsubscribes, if you don't open the Kickstarter, I can the newsletter, I can just send it again. Send it again. Because I did it once on a Sunday morning, and then people came along for the coffee. Let me. Where's that? It's resend to non-openers. So yeah, if ever you get two, it just means you haven't opened it. So I've sent you it again. It's like, go on, open it, open it. There we are. So we get another one. Yeah, no, it doesn't tell you at all whether it's in the email or on the thing. It's weird that it doesn't tell you that. So I was getting a bit antsy early in the week, so I'm putting loads into these updates, and I don't think anyone's reading them. Well, obviously some of you are. Thank you very much. And that's also not it's not criticism, because it's just thinking about how people use Kickstarter. And I very rarely read updates, but I think because of this specific one. Just trying to find a good question. Um, because there are cool updates, I think that's the like, please look, because it's quite close to a sort of traditional Kickstarter with this. So all of the stretch goals, none of them are sculpted, and they really won't exist unless they get unlocked. And I know sometimes it's like, oh look, we've unlocked, but everything I've had sculpted was in the start, because because I've noticed that stretch goals never sell anywhere near as much as what's there at the start. So I just went, everything. You can have everything. So that's why it's been sort of bits and bobs in the update. And the mini stretch goals are really like, yeah, it has to be doing well for me to be making these sculpts on top of it, sort of thing. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, so the updates are important because it's kind of like, oh look, we've now got the stuff, and these are the things that can be added. So yeah, I don't know, do I spam the MailChimp more? But the bonus of the updates is that I've then been spamming them across. I keep saying spamming them across forums, and no one replies in forums, but they do read them. So hopefully that sort of spreads the word a bit as well. So it's just nice. I like doing the updates, and I've been writing quite, because I launched when I wasn't quite ready. I meant to have all these little videos made of who all the women are, and I'm still going to attempt to get those done sort of early next week. But now I'm a bit concerned with his back. Why they never? Well, I do get bad back problems, but I don't get this sort of back problem. Now I'm like, what? Why? Why? I will talk about cool stuff. And I was at Duxford. I was at Duxford last week. And we've got Peter who was helping at Colours. What were you doing? Were you shifting things? So Colours is on. I assume that if you're going, you won't be watching this, but maybe you'll run over afterwards. Great Escape have got a lot of Squiddo things, which is nice. If you're in Scotland, handy worker there, and they've got, I don't know if they've got World War Ruins, but they've got the Trench Crusade book as well. So in a monologue side, Kickstarter is going ace. Thank you. I love it. I want to give it a nice sort of, last few days. I made it a bit longer than usual so that I'm knowing, that I need some more time just to be able to promote it and give people time to paint all the minis and all that sort of stuff. And the shipping. So America's shipping is back on. It's back on, and it's cheaper than it was unless you buy one miniature, but then just don't buy one miniature overseas. So that's I spent days with, like, I sent them a picture of all the papers of all my working outs where I was trying to get as workable as possible. But it's worked out basically that overseas shipping is now cheaper and duties paid. So America, which again a lot of people haven't realised, because when I launched, it was exactly the same time that it was all changing. So I think a lot of Americans went, "I'm gonna wait." But if that is you or someone it is safe now. So most of the Kickstarters will be 12 quid shipping, which is pretty damn good, I think. So that is tracked as well. I'm now done sending non-tracked. So track Um, we got there. Oh, yes, you could use a guinea pig in French Crusade. Yes. So it's tracked, and for America, all the duties are paid. So whatever you pay at the checkout there, we're absorbing the 10% for now. I'm going to see how it goes, which is also a go on, do it before I change my mind, which was also part of doing some stuff about. So yeah, it's actually really, really good in America now. To get shipping from Glasgow, which is nothing to Paris. You get better deals shipping and basically shipping mail because they are like 4 times more expensive than anyone else. So I was looking, yeah, I moved into couriers, basically couriers for overseas, which will then affect my Royal Mail account in the UK, but we'll see. So while I was at that, I wanted to make sure that EU shipping was duties paid because it's something I was supposed to do ages ago and never got round to. So that you have to do through a different service, obviously. So again, I'd say type, I was scribbling workings out. Now as well. So what I was doing before was that I was subsidising the shipping. The shipping was way cheaper, but you have to pay duties. It worked out the same. I think mentally people are like, oh, the duties. That was tied in, and I worked it out at a flat rate. It's a flat rate at EU. It's £14. What do you get? £14. And I hope it sounds messy again. I don't know why. Like everything is plugged in. If it does end up breaking up, I'm gonna have to start plugging in. I don't know if something's wrong with the um, internet or with the wireless or something. You know, oh, I can go and move it, but I can't stand up, so I can't. Can try, because it's kind of behind the curtain, and I know that it doesn't record because the last one didn't. Yeah, wait. Is it better if I lean forward? Um, Maybe. Don't want to get too close. Let me know how it's going. So sound went back to normal, but I did walk out the room. So maybe I moved the curtain off the router to see if that helps. So basically, yes, the EU shipping is EU shipping is now £14 no matter what you get. So even if you get a load of AFU backdrop books, it's still £14 and you still don't have any duties to pay, which is pretty damn good. So if you've been putting off ordering anything or back into Kickstarter, I could also do some orders at the moment because I've got all this money preloaded in the Kickstarter going, woohoo! I'm like, oh no, I don't get that till October. I need September money. So yeah, it's a good chance to, especially if you're overseas, to try out this new shipping ahead of the Kickstarter and just check it's all good. Go on. What I'm going to do if sound's been a problem, all I can think of is to do with the Wi-Fi. I'm going to get a long cable, just plug it in. But it's frustrating because it is the mega fast internet, but it's not been mega fast lately, so I'm not sure. Do let me know if it crackles, because it crackled all the way through talking about Pemberley Scenics in that other episode. I've been using that stuff, by the way. It's been perfect for this. I'm so chuffed that I found them. The rubble with the little bits of colour on has been really good, and the brown, just sort of floor dusting, also been really, really good. Yeah, comment if it's still working, please. What a shenanigans. At least you're used to it. It's more. I always worry if someone's here for the first time, thinking, what is this? Though to be fair, this is what it is. Um, I've been painting. I've been doing this hobby project very slowly in my spare time. It's not finished yet, but this is for the guinea pigs. It's the Mr. Blobby house, Mr. Blobby playhouse. So the paint's really thin. It's a chewable, safe paint. It means I just have to do loads of layers. So it's nearly there. The terrifying mouth and the lining and all that needs done. But then soon, and obviously these bits. But soon they'll be allowed to they'd be allowed to go and play in their Mr. Blobby playhouse. So that's my bit of hobbying that I've been doing. Get that there. You there? That there. So last weekend I was at Duxford at Imperial War Museum, which is why there wasn't a show last week. I had the best time. So it was so this weekend is the proper show. It's the air show where they've got all of the. God, my hair looks invisible. I need to dye that as well. It's just yellow on yellow, isn't it? It's very yellow. I don't know what happened to Pig Castle. It's at 80% finished. Andy mentions it now and again. It's still at 80% finished in the garage. I said maybe if I paint Blobby House, it will give me the impetus to finish Pig Castle. What was the name of the company you ordered your collector's cards from? It's Print Co, which is quite a generic name, but they're Print Co in Nottingham. They're very nice. I don't know what their current address is because they've just moved from because everyone's abandoning London now. I send you the details if you need them as well. So yeah, I went to Duxford for a weekend of history talks. It was largely World War II, cheeky bit of Cold War as well. Absolutely loved it. Spoke to loads of lovely people. One of my little bits of enjoyment in life is going to talk events like that on my own, because I've now dubbed it the British Gap. That as long as somewhere's not sold out, people leave the little one seat between, like all the pairs or the groups. So it means that if you're late, you can come in and walk straight to the front and sit in someone's British Gap. So you don't have to sit and save a seat, which is quite handy. Especially when I was back and forth, watched lots of planes. Don't know much about planes, but had a really nice chat with some people going. Some bloody good planes there, isn't it? Yeah. I saw Claire Mully was one of the main reasons I went, who wrote about Agent Zoe, who we've got the miniature of, Agent Zoe, and Christina Scarbeck. So I was showing her, had a very nice cup of tea with her and showed her the progress of the minis. Her Jenny Grant and the chap whose name I forgot from History Rage. And I was showing them all of the current Kickstarter minis, which was really nice. And Jenny's kids were there and they were telling them all about who all the different ladies were. And then for some reason, I had to go. So this guy, right, he's half turkey and all. And in the evening, I was going, why am I like this? Why did I bring up Turkey Man? I'm ignoring all these puns in the comments. So they weren't fans of Turkey Man, but they did like the history. And brilliant talks. Paul Baville, there you go. That was the guy. I sat by him on one of them, but I left his British Gap for him because he was on his own. So don't worry, I won't sit right next to you. We'll leave that gap there. So I just chatted to loads of people, and it does seem to be if I'm on my own, I'll end up chatting to lots more people. And I think people at like World War II events adopt me a little bit because I tend to be like one of the youngest or the youngest there. So they're kind of like, "Who's this little girl? Well, come on, we'll look after you." So it was really nice. I ended up getting a lift back. I don't know if they'll ever watch this, but I ended up getting a lift back to the station on the Wednesday with some really nice people. Dean and Lynn. Was it Lynn? Yeah. Who also bought me a pint, so that's all right. So thank you, and had a nice little chat. Turned out to be wargamers, so obviously left with a Turkey Man sticker as well. But I've only been to Duxford as a kid, and I can't really remember it. And again, I'm not mega into planes. So it's the sort of thing that I can have a nice wander around and go, oh, that's cool, but not like a, oh, I saw this particular engine or anything. So I had a look on the Sunday. I had more of a look around and realised there's loads of stuff as aside from planes, so vehicles and artillery and stuff. So and some of the history of different women. And I took some wicked photos. I also just turn myself here. I'm going to see what painkillers I'm allowed to take because it's ridiculous. I found there's a second-hand bookshop in the middle of Duxford, just in one of the outbuildings, with a lovely lady in there. Um, all with like basically aviation and World War II and a few other military stuff. So I ended up picking up more books. I couldn't. One of the reasons I was late, I was looking for the two books that I bought new, but I don't. I think they might be in my room, and I can't be able to go upstairs again because it's too much. But I bought the SOE in 100 Objects. Um, yeah, you should go. Definitely recommend it. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. Um, which it should be. I don't know why. I don't know why it's well, it's obviously a massive airfield of hangars. But in my mind, it was like, oh yeah, it is big, isn't it? Duh. So it's quite a lot. I ended up at one point, ended up in the American section. I went, it's so far to get back. I had to talk. I'm like, but then there's the cafe, and then the toilets are over there, and then the wind will probably blow me back. So it was good for getting the legs stretched. So the second-hand bookshop. Here we are. I found an Amelia Earhart. Her disappearance solved at last in 1994. Was it really? We'll find out. So, well, I can't put it on top of Blobby. A WAF memoir, because I'm a sucker for a memoir, because I think this was published some time ago, and I don't know how many of them are left, but got to collect memoirs. We all wore blue. That's only 1994. Just as the style of publishing looks, I say only 1994. It's still quite a while ago, isn't it? And this one, Secret Weapons of World War II, I got because I was flicking through it and I found feminizing Hitler, and I thought that's amazing. That was a genuine. See if I can find it at the scroll now. Yeah, that's who we in at the 90s. The 10. Yeah, they were. Oh, feminizing Hitler. This would be such a good name for a band or something, but you don't want Hitler in your band, do you? Sure, it was near the back somewhere. Come on. Sorry, it's just me reading it. Oh no, I've just pressed a button now. Is that right? Secret. There's some really fun, just weird secret weapons. Is a death ray feasible? So this is one of those sort of like I might sit and read this today actually. Um. Oh man, it was there. I didn't make it up. It was there. Of course, I can't find it now. It's there anyway. But it was like a plot to put hormones in Hitler's food so that he'd be more feminine and therefore like have a higher pitched voice and boobs, and then none of the people would listen to him and the downfall would happen that way. It's just such a bizarre. And I kind of want to do feminized Hitler. No, no Hitler minis. So supported by Mr. Blobby. I can't wait to go and put it in there. So I'm going, you in your Blobby house? You having a nice time in your Blobby house? And then they're going, "Ooh." That would be a good secret weapon. And my other show and tell stack I have. So I've been trying to make sure people realise that this is also the Kickstarter. Um, we got this and the rollies. The obviously the best pledge to get is the 100 quid, but I know not everyone's got 100 quid. But I'm trying to make sure people know that even if you just want the book, you can get just the book on the Kickstarter. because I need to impress John. I need to sell loads on the Kickstarter to show how cool and marketable I am, and important to the future of backdrops. So the more backdrops I sell in the Kickstarter, the better. But they are currently only available here. John will obviously have them eventually, but for now they are exclusive to Squiddo, and also good for non-war. That's obviously war, but like that with some space marines or whatever. I've got the A4. We haven't had a sample A3 made, but the A3 will have loads of uses as well. But it's been pretty cool going back to the start, because I mostly use A3 books now. But when they first came out, there was only A4. So it's back to using the same sort of techniques I did when I used to photograph with A4, and you can do a lot with them. So all those pictures I've been posting up have all been with A4. So I don't know, I'm looking at them and not showing you. But I'm hopefully, if I can figure out how to make how to use video software again, because I use it once a year, I'll make a little video just showing off all the pages. But yeah, various, and they're all nice and generic, so that you can use them for anything. It's a good one like that. I like the ones with the internal structure showing. So I would have talked a lot more, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not a bad back aficionado. This sort of moment. So I'm gonna head off. So apologies, it's been a bit disjointed, and I'm gonna plug the laptop in next week and make sure it's working. Because yeah, I'm not sure about this whole mic cutting out thing. Yeah, just as keep moving. Yeah, I couldn't sleep anyway in the bed. I'm just potter about, just getting standing up and then sitting down. But yeah, if I can do more spamming. I was going to write some scripts for just some short scripts for some little videos. So the theory is when I'm all like washed my hair and look nice tomorrow, I can film some things. So you get the Sunday Annie. So oh no, crap, gotta go film. So I will be hopefully writing those out today, and then filming a bunch tomorrow, where it's just kind of like me going, hey, this woman from the war was really cool. I think I've mastered reels now as well. I listened to some I can't remember who was telling me. I think it was someone at the industry meet, so that's quite a handy thing. Telling me about different reel tips. So I'm getting more people seeing my reels now. So I'll make a few more reels. So you'll see that around. I will utilize the power of my face, because I've been posting up this little fungus gnat here. I've been putting up those beautiful photographs, and then they don't get seen by anyone. And obviously, I put it's me in a miniature, and that one's on like 500 likes and a million comments. Though it does have the winning combo of the Argyle socks that John painted. Um, but yeah, so if you see, go, what is she doing? As usual, it's just me trying to game the system. So wherever you see it, if you could do the biggest hand, I'm gonna give me money. Yeah, just bump them up. Share's really important, because then it's not me just spamming everywhere. If there's a group, especially things like local gaming groups that I'm definitely not going to be in, and the more niche the group, the better, sort of thing. And yeah, if you see them on a forum, if you're one of the forumers, just give it like, wow, these are great, sort of thing. But it's going really well, and I'm really, really pleased. And it's nice, and it's looking like we're going to unlock Claude Cahoon, who, on one hand, they're like, yes, and then, oh no, this is going to be so hard to design, because if you look them up, kind of the whole point of Claude Cahoon was having all of these different looks. So I'll be intrigued as to see which one we end up going with, because I don't want to just do them in sort of 1940s clothes. There's one where they've got like tinfoil wings. So like, would people want that? Because it'd look kind of cool. And I've also got to finish. I want to make sure there's at least sketches for Heatherland, Elsie Marie. I can't pronounce Paid, and Carla Capone before the end because I've just got pictures of them at the moment. So if I can leave a description or something like that in there, it would help. Because yeah, we just again didn't have time, but I couldn't postpone the Kickstarter. It had to be that date. So yeah, anything that wasn't ready at that point just had to. It's been a weird time. I've been doing a lot better. I've been struggling a lot with my health. At the point of launch, um, I was in a state. my physical health has been appalling. I've got some ongoing issues that just don't seem to go away, and that was all extra awful. Um, so I'm super impressed with myself that I managed to launch and make it all look awesome and like I know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing though. And I was just getting like really good. I'm really into like doing it now, and I've obviously done something to my back and then separately to my legs as well. But if that can just go quite soon, that would be nice. Yeah, I think a little stroll. Might see if anyone's around to drive me somewhere. Have a little walk around the lake or something. It is the tabletop gamers market in Nottingham if you're around there as well. Also, Katie, who I don't know if she's in here today, Katie dropped me off a load of the trans necklaces that we were talking about in the last show. I need to message her because she arrived when I was mid-state the other week. But if anyone wants one, basically just put it in a comment or whatever, and I'll ship it with stuff for free, obviously. So that's very nice of Katie. So thank you very much. Right, I'm gonna go and then figure out what to do with this sort of. I've had back pain, but not the back specifically when you move pain. So I will be hobbling around. Right, thank you. If you've not checked out the Kickstarter, if you've not looked at it in a while, just a little appreciation sort of look on it. Go and have a peep. I've added more adults stretch goals. Hanny and Truce in Disguise have been unlocked, which is ace. And yeah, I will. Goodbye. Thank you. You're all ace. I'll probably. So the Kickstarter ends Wednesday. I might try and do something before then as well. Maybe a closure stream or something like that. Um, maybe. Right. Thank you all. So I say apologies for the sound being a bit weird and me being all, but it's what you know will happen there. So goodbye. Have a nice Sunday.